You know, we usually look to the present for answers to our problems, right? But today, we're going to do something different. We're going to rewind a few centuries to dig up some surprisingly modern wisdom. We're going to explore how ancient thinkers used these powerful images to teach one of life's most essential skills, how to stand strong when life gets tough. So, let's dive in.
I mean, this is the ultimate question, isn't it? When things get hard, when life throws a massive curveball at you, where do you find the strength not just to get through it, but to actually stand your ground and maybe, just maybe, come out stronger on the other side?
Well, for the answers, we're looking at this really fascinating, kind of forgotten art form called emblems. Think of them as visual guides for life's biggest challenges. They were these combinations of pictures, mottos, and short texts, all designed to be super memorable, like powerful little tools for your mind.
Okay, so our first lesson is all about preparation. It's not about what you do when the storm hits, but about what you've already built long before it even appears on the horizon. This is the lesson of the unshakable tree.
So take a look at this. This first emblem shows a tree getting absolutely battered by winds, but it's standing firm. The motto, Virtutis radixi altae, spills the secret. The roots of virtue are deep. The real source of its strength is completely hidden, buried deep underground.
And here's the key takeaway, something that a 17th-century writer named Juan de Horozco explained. He said our inner strength, our character, our integrity, it works the exact same way. It's not something you can just whip up in a crisis. No way. It has to be cultivated, grown over years, sending down those deep roots that are going to hold you steady when the inevitable storms of life come crashing in.
And get this idea is completely timeless. Fast forward almost 400 years from that emblem, and what do you hear? You hear Bob Dylan singing this exact line in his song Forever Young. He's wishing his son the very same thing that Horozco was illustrating all those centuries ago.
I mean, look at this. It's a perfect side-by-side. Whether you call them deep roots or strong foundations, the core idea is exactly the same. It's all about building a solid moral core that just can't be toppled by whatever life throws at you.
But, and this is a really important but, here's a critical warning that comes with this lesson. Having deep roots doesn't mean the winds won't blow. As this fantastic quote reminds us, just being a good person doesn't give you a free pass from hardship. The roots aren't there to stop the storm, they're there to help you endure it.
Okay, so you've built your foundation. You've got the deep roots. But what do you do when the storm actually hits? Let's move to our next emblem and see how this all connects. This next part is all about strategy, and it frames life as a game.
So, here we see two kings playing a game of backgammon. The motto says that bad situations must be borne and amended. What does that mean? It means you have to endure what happens to you, but you also have to actively correct your course. It's a game of both luck and skill.
In life, just like in a game of backgammon, you absolutely cannot control the dice. That's luck, that's fortune, that's all the random stuff that happens to you.
And you also don't control the board. That's your circumstances, the state of the world, what other people do. All of that is out of your hands.
The only thing you truly have power over is how you respond to that roll of the dice. Your strategy, your choices, your skill. That's where your power is. You take the bad roll and, with skill, you amend your position and play the best possible game you can.
And that leads us perfectly into this related emblem, which just powerfully drives this idea home. We see a compass, a tool for steering, right? And it's encircled by a serpent, which is an ancient symbol of wisdom. The star represents fate or destiny, and the motto, prudence is greater than fate.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that while we can't control fate, the star, our wisdom, our prudence, can absolutely steer us through it. By being prepared and making smart choices, we learn to navigate the random currents of life and, in a very real way, become the masters of our own destiny.
So we've covered preparing for adversity, and we've talked about strategizing within it. But what if hardship could do more than just be survived? What if it could actually be transformed into something beautiful?
Okay, this next emblem is one of my absolute favorites. It shows a hand playing a trumpet, and the motto is interclusa respirat, which means, though constrained, it breathes. Think about it. The air being forced through the narrow passages of a trumpet is under immense pressure. But it doesn't just get stuck, it emerges as music.
Let's just break this down. Step 1 is the pressure. That's adversity.
the air being forced into a tight spot. Step 2 is endurance. That's the air pushing through that constraint. And step 3? Music. The result isn't just survival. It's a beautiful, victorious sound. It suggests that our greatest hardships can actually lead to our most profound and beautiful moments.
And you know where this motto actually comes from? The Roman statesman Cicero. He once said, "The truth, buried by the evil of many, emerges, and the defense of innocence, though constrained, still breathes." It's such a powerful message of hope that even when things seem impossible, truth and virtue can find a way to make themselves heard.
All right, for our final lesson, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. After all the struggle and all the endurance, what gives us the hope to keep going? Well, the answer lies in the ever-turning wheel. This emblem shows a story about the Egyptian king Sesostris. He used to force the kings he conquered to pull his chariot, but one day he noticed one of them staring at the chariot wheel and smiling. When Sesostris asked why, the king said he was watching the wheel turn, seeing the part that was at the bottom rise to the top and the part at the top fall to the bottom. The motto is a comfort in adversity, and that turning wheel is exactly why. This idea is perfectly captured in the incredible true story of Prince Yusuf. Back in the 14th century, he was condemned to death by his own brother, the King of Granada. As a final request, he was granted one last game of chess. So he plays, deliberately dragging it out for hours, and then, just as he delivers checkmate, a messenger bursts in. The king had suddenly died. The wheel had turned. Yusuf, who was moments from death, was freed and proclaimed the new king. It's just a stunning reminder to never, ever lose hope, because your fortune can change in an instant.
So there you have it, the deep roots of the tree for your inner strength, the strategic mind for the game of life, the transformative power of the trumpet, and the hopeful perspective of the ever-turning wheel. 4 ancient visual tools for building some serious modern resilience.
So the real question now isn't about history, it's about you. These emblems aren't just old pictures, they are a mental toolkit. So when the winds of change start to shift in your life, which one of these ideas will you reach for first? Think about it.